Noah Lyles' three-word comment to 17-year-old sprinter Gout Gout sums him up perfectly. Sprint star Noah Lyles has openly expressed his thoughts on the emerging threat of Aussie prodigy Gout Gout as they gear up for a face-off at the World Athletics Championships. The 2024 Olympic gold medalist seems to be relishing the challenge posed by the rising star from down under. Before bagging the Olympic gold in the 100 meters at Paris 2024, Lyles had already clinched 6 world titles in his discipline. However, the 28-year-old couldn't hold onto the 100-meter world title he won in Budapest 2 years prior, finishing third in the final sprint at the 2025 World Championships, with Jamaica's Oblique Seville snatching the crown. Lyles, who has a staggering net worth, had a heart-to-heart with Gout on his Beyond the Records podcast earlier this year when the 17-year-old made a guest appearance. Despite the looming threat of a budding competitor, the Florida-born speedster was nothing but encouraging, urging him to reach for the stars. "Well, Gout, thank you for being here with us," said Lyles, who is set to compete against Gout in the 200m this week. "We are extremely honored that you would allow us to be your first representation to the rest of the world, that you would share your personality. And from the bottom of our hearts here, bruh, we hope to see you have an amazing season. I know that you can reach out to me." Co-host and Olympic hurdles champion Grant Holpway is gonna say the same thing. "For anything you need, any help we can give, bruh." As if that wasn't a generous enough gesture from one athlete looking to encourage a future competitor, Lyles capped off the comment with flair. He wrapped up his message to Gout with a straightforward 3-word statement: "Go be great." The response demonstrates exactly what kind of person Lyles truly is. While others might choose to keep their rivals, present or potential, at a distance, the reigning Olympic champion craves the absolute best his competitors can deliver, reports the Mirror. Lyles has grabbed attention for his polarizing statements before, but made every effort to reveal his gentler nature to Gout. The American faced criticism from some fellow countrymen previously for mocking NBA champions being called world champions. Gout, who has drawn comparisons to Usain Bolt and has already shattered one of his records, might dominate his age group in the 100m, but was absent from that race in Tokyo this week. This was a strategic choice, though, as he and his coaching staff are concentrating on the 200m competition for now. The opening heats for the 200m are scheduled for Wednesday, when Gout will take his next major leap forward in his track and field journey. He secured silver in last year's under-20 World Championships final, but aims to improve on that performance against more experienced opposition in Japan. The athlete who defeated him for gold in Lima last year, South Africa's Banda Walaza, won't be participating in the World Championships. The 19-year-old couldn't bounce back from a hamstring injury sustained at the Diamond League last month, although he wasn't scheduled to compete in the 200m race anyway. Lyles, meanwhile, will be among the contenders vying for 200m success, which he has described as his favorite event, and while the duo have maintained a cordial relationship so far, all pleasantries might disappear once the battle for track supremacy begins. Business as usual. Between the lines. Business as usual. Just 3 words. They sound cool, composed, confident, brief. But coming from someone like Noah Lyles, in response to Gout Gout's breakout performance, they carry weight. They carry layers. Gout Gout, at just 17, ran the fastest 200m of the year in the heats officially, and then in a wind-assisted final put up a time that startled people, the kind of speed that makes others sit up. Sportskeeda. We happen to be in an age where young phenoms emerge rapidly. The spotlight finds them earlier than ever, but it's still rare for someone so young to be taken so seriously, so quickly. Noah Lyles is no stranger to speed, no stranger to expectations. He's a world champion. He's one of the names that young sprinters look up to. To hear him say business as usual when a teenager posts a world-leading time isn't a dismissal. It's more complex. It acknowledges the moment, but also positions it in a continuum. It says, "Great job. Yeah, I see what you're doing. But this is the daily work for me. The pressure, the performance, the expectations. I live here." It's a recognition that for Lyles, speed, world-class sprinting, excellence, is routine. Not routine in the sense of mundane, but routine in the sense of constant. The preparation, the discipline, the performance, they are always part of the job. The duality, praise and pressure. Those words do two things at once. On the one hand, they praise Gout Gout. They say, "Hey, that was expected from someone of your caliber." On the other, they remind him, and everyone watching, that in the world of elite sprinting, every sensational performance raises the question, is this sustainable? Is this your standard, or a flash? When Lyles says business as usual, he is hinting, you've done great, but the work ahead is about making this what you do, not what you just did. That duality captures a tension every rising star must navigate, the joy of achievement versus the burden of expectation. For Gout Gout, there's exhilaration, breaking records, making headlines, getting praise from the very top echelon, but also the weight of comparisons, to Usain Bolt, for example, the comparisons to more seasoned champions, and the inevitable scrutiny. The public is always asking, is this the beginning of something lasting, or just a spark? By keeping his comment simple, Lyles avoids either overhyping or undercutting. He recognizes the moment, but places it within the everyday of elite sport. That's a kind of mentorship, even if indirect. It tells Gout, yes, this is impressive, but let's see what you make of the next race, the next season, the pressure, the setbacks. Are you going to show up when things aren't easy? What the moment reveals about Gout Gout. This story is not just about Lyles' reaction. It also sheds light on Gout Gout, his talents, his mindset, and where he might go from here. Raw talent and maturation. What Gout Gout has done so far is breathtaking for his age. He's showing not just speed, but consistency. He's grabbing wins, setting national records, and making bold statements in interviews that he aims to run up to Noah Lyles, to challenge him. News.com.au. +3. Essentially Sports. +3. Sportskeeda. +3. Talent alone isn't enough. As Lyles also noted, part of the journey is physical growth, strength, endurance, and mental growth. Handling pressure, expectations, learning how to race, how to prepare. Athletics Weekly. Identity and pressure. Gout Gout is not just trying to be fast, he's being watched. Comparisons to Bolt, to records, to icons. That can inspire but also distract. For a 17-year-old, balance is everything. When young athletes are thrust into the limelight, there can be a danger. Winning becomes not just about crossing the line first, but about meeting expectations, sometimes external, sometimes internal.